Fight! cEDH! Gameplay! Let's go!
Today, I'm bringing Aang at the Crossroads. This specific list is by Spooky. It's just the most viewed list on Moxfield. So the whole idea of the deck is to play out some mana, cast your commander, and then flip through your whole deck with all the clones, because the clones will ETB, get a Aang trigger, and then if they don't have any special text, just die. And if we have multiple triggers, we can get multiple flips, and each clone gets 2 more flips. And finally, you assemble a combo where you just amass like infinite Aang triggers and just put your whole deck into play. Or maybe you can do some food chain stuff. It varies a bit, but yeah, mostly just mana, some value piece, cast commander, win. Sounds pretty cool.
I'm going to try edit MTG's list on here because I just like the line of the description of the deck. Infinite mana, cast the Angry Draw library, and choose a win con. So similar to Pontus, like we're looking for options where we can like sort of leverage our commander. And I love the library. I like mono blue. Just want to keep it easy.
I haven't played Grixis in a long time. I used to play it a lot. I don't know if I still know how to do it. We'll find out.
Bunnies! Yeah! Bunnies! So I'm playing Baylen Haymaker! Yeah! So Avatar of Aang has a lot of these like creatures that are spirits and such, and I thought like, hey, Baylen the Haymaker, that's kind of fitting, so let's go with bunnies. Hey, this hand is pretty good. So we have a Mox Diamond and 2 lands. No, wait, oh, we're missing a land. Oh no, we don't have 3 mana on turn 2. That's actually a pickle. I don't think we can keep this. We also, we have a tutor, Imperial Recruiter, to find like a token generator menace. But in the end, Manglehorn is good. I don't think I want to risk it. I'm top decking like the chance of drawing 1 land in 2 cards is too risky. I could be sitting here doing nothing, so we're going to actually Mulligan. Hey, that looks like a turn 2 with the Lotus Petal, Soul Ring. We are not going to Null Rod turn 1. Or should we Null Rod turn 1? We're keeping this one. This is a pretty great hand. So we have a token generator, and we have a creature that's going to make all of our tokens tap for mana with Enduring Vitality. We have a commander turn 2. We have a Null Rod. I love it. I don't think they're going to love it.
Early Bowmaster doesn't seem bad against this deck. Stitcher Supplier, turn 1 is like interesting with an LED already. Happened to stumble into a UC, or what am I saying? Unwall Breach. It is kind of slow. It would be like turn 1 holding open a Swan Song for like potential Ristic Studies, Fish, and then turn 2 Bowmaster in response to some kind of draw. I'm going to go from there. We can definitely find faster hands, but I haven't had time to properly look at the list, so I'm not sure of the approach there. So maybe we do just go with a more of a control-y approach. If we do have the LED to cast Azula fast as well, but then we're just banking off the top as well, which could be unfortunate. No, I kind of like it. Like, we're playing against 2 other blue decks that are coming after us, so if we can take care of that, like an early Fish, if that's their like saving grace with the hand that they're dealt, we're in a good spot. We don't need to play the Stitcher Supplier early either. We can save that for later. Then I like just having the Bowmaster up. Yeah, I think we just keep this. It's not fast. Grix is fast, so we can definitely find a hand that wins faster. But we might need to go under the Haymaker deck with all the hate bears, just in case we don't find it. Like, the Bowmaster is a good way to just deal with that as well. Yeah, I think I just like this. We'll keep it.
Okay, this first 7, it's all right. I mean, it's got great cards in it, but we need another mana to get anything interesting for our commander, at least if we want to flash it in, let's say on before turn 2, something like that. But we don't have those resources, so let's go ahead and pitch. Boo. Second 7, we have 1 single land. This land is really cool, but nothing we can do about it. So let's go to 6. All right, this is an okay game plan. I mean, when I'm looking at this, there is a world where I could wait and I could play my 2 land, or play basically Island and Lotus Petal. I've got Mental Misstep for some early turn sort of backup. I've also got, Snapback. I think that's something that could go relatively quick. And then maybe 4 mana later on to work with if I don't crack everything. So if I'm patient, I could use it, but I feel like there's some options to kind of pivot here and there. So I think given what I've been seeing in the other next hands, it's worthwhile going with this one for now, just because we're still going to get something potentially almost right away if people are fetching, can draw a card. So that's what's great. It's like a blue Archivist of Ogma, as I saw in some of the reports of this. So let's go ahead and pitch Snapback, and then I will let Pontus take it away.
Basically, what we're looking for in this deck is just a way to get to 5 mana. Preferably, we'd like to land like a Katara or Roaming Throne the turn before we get 5 mana. This hand does not do that. We have 2 lands, a turn 2. We technically have a turn 1 Elvish Spirit Guide Talisman, but like no payoff for it. If we go turn 2 Talisman, turn 3, we have 3, 4. We could have 5 mana if we draw land, which is okay, but it's like so baseline that I might just mulligan for something that does something more powerful along the way. So let's mulligan for that. Immediately we have a hand with higher potential, but I'm unsure how much I like it. So here we do have turn 1 Arbalf, turn 2 Wild Growth with a Forest, which means turn 1 Arbalf, turn 2, if we don't draw Greenland, we have to tap our green source to cast the Wild Growth. But then we can still untap it and have 4 mana. We can like even cast a Food Chain and just have it, which isn't too bad. I think that's on its face is really good. And if we draw a Greenland, we can tap that one and maybe even cast a Commander immediately, turn 2. So yeah, I think our hand is pretty good. And I'll keep it. I should do the mana if I can cast turn 2 Commander if I draw a green source, but I will not. Let's see if we do.
Let's bunny start! Draw a card. Flooded Strand, sacrifice it, finding a Savannah. And then I'm going to cast a Cat. This can create tokens. And after that, I'm going to cast a Lotus Petal and pass the turn.
Sure. Untap, blah, 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 draw. I'll play a Scarling Tarn. I'll cast an LED, and I'll pass.
Go to my turn, draw, islands, Lotus Petal, and I will pass.
Go to my turn. Land for turn will be a Wooded Foothills. I will fetch, finding a Savannah, tapping it for a green for a Arbor Elf. And then I will pass.
My turn. Draw card. Oh, Wooded Foothills. So this Draenei Magistrate actually changes a lot. I don't think that Snuski is gonna go like turn 2 Commander with Lion's Eye Diamond here. He could, but I don't know if that's what his plan is, because his Phylod Azula demands cards in his hand to actually do anything. So I'm not worried about that. The bird, I don't really care, honestly. Pontus Commander though is shut down completely. I don't know if Pontus has like his commander next turn though. Like Arbor Elf land for Aang is... I'm going to speculate that I have... on the other side, I don't actually have that many... Like it's Commander now or Draenei. And well, it's Soldering and Draenei or Commander. In the end, as I don't have any tokens yet, the Commander doesn't actually do anything. So I think it's better to put the Draenei and Soldering into play. I'm not casting the Null Rod. I really want to put Null Rod into play, but I need my Lotus Petal to get my Commander into play. But I'm gonna delay my Commander as it doesn't actually do anything, just because it could be good to delay the game a little bit here. I'm going to sacrifice Wooded Foothills, finding a Taiga.
I'm going to, in response to your search, I'm going to sacrifice Lotus Petal and tap this and cast my Commander. And as far as I recall, I did not draw a card from this, but I mean on the enter, but when you search, do the 1/1 counter.
And Snuski, you fetch in response to Tong on the stack, right?
Yeah, not the plans. I'm thinking about what you might be doing, but I think I'm going to go I wanted to get a Surveil land, but now I don't want to because I have to do this preemptively. So I'm going to get a Volcanic Island.
Okay, I'll put a 1/1 counter on Tong and draw a card.
I'm gonna follow up with a Soldering into a Draenei Magistrate. I'm then going to attack Snuske, the only black player, for 1.
Sure, take 1.
And I gain 1. And I want to go to the end of my turn where I've gained life, so I will create a kitten and then I pass.
Sure, go to my turn. All the untap, blah blah blah, draw a card. I'll shock in a Watery Grave, losing 2, and pass.
Untap and draw. Fomori Vault as land for turn. Snuske, you have 6 cards in your hand. I'm going to pay 2 life, and I will look at your hand with Get Bro.
I'm going to respond. Bowmaster. Yeah, we'll start with the Dork. Oh, it's for each tutor. Oh, in my brain it was the other way around. Yes, it's only when it only gets bigger when he searches, not when he draws, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely targeting the bird then. In my brain, your bird got bigger with each draw, which means I could never kill the bird. I read it wrong. So yeah, one damage on bird. And then get probe, I'll just send you a screenshot. You also get to see my mulligan choices. And off the trigger, I will target your bird once again.
All right, I'll draw the card, target that with a trigger, and second main. Or no, I'm not even out of there, actually. No, I am a first main. I will tap 2 for a Sapphire Medallion. All right, that resolves. Mox Opal and a Mox Amber. It's all right. And other than that, I'll pass.
Go to my turn. Land for turn will be a Ancient Tomb. I'll tap my Savannah to cast for a Wild Growth targeting my Savannah. I'll tap my Arbor Elf to untap my Savannah. I'll tap Savannah for 2 green to cast a Badger Mole Cub. Badger Mole Cub is a 2/2 for 1 and a green. It has ETB Earthbend 1, which is to put a +1/+1 counter on a land. That land becomes a creature, and when it dies or is exiled, it returns tapped without being a creature anymore. And it also has, whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. ETB, I will make my Ancient Tomb into a 1/1. Because Earthbend also gives haste, I'll tap it, take 2 damage for a green and 2 generic. And I'll cast an interesting card to cast here. I'll cast a Food Chain.
This means, people, no killing Draenei.
My hand does not have any outlets for Food Chain, but it's just here, unless you want to counter it, of course. So with Food Chain in play, I'll just pass turn.
Think there's a first for everything. Now we have a food chain and passing, so I will go to my turn. I will start things off by sacrificing Lotus Petal so I can cast a Enduring Vitality. Then 1, 2, 3 mana total for Baylen the Haymaker, Bunny Boss. And now that we no longer have a need for Soul Ring, or we have our Lotus Petal anymore, we can just cast this Null Rod. You guys don't do stuff. I don't like you guys doing stuff. With a very small, tiny, cute board state, I pass the turn.
I will play an Ancient Tomb. I think I have to pass.
Take my turn. You're having a great game. Yes. Nope. Go ahead.
Go to my turn. I drew this in the nick of time. I'll play Starting Town as land for turn. This is the 3rd turn. I'm the last 3rd turn, so it's on that. I'll tap Savannah for a white and green, and then tap my Arbor Elf to untap my Savannah. I'll tap Ancient Tomb for 2 and a green, taking 2 damage. I'll use 1 and a white to cast a Airbender Ascension. So Airbender's Ascension is a pretty interesting card in this deck. It airbends up to 1 target creature. Airbending is you exile it, and then its owner may cast it for 2 or just the mana cost. So 2 generic specifically. It also has whenever creature you control enters, put a quest counter on this enchantment. And at the beginning of your end step, if this enchantment has 4 more counters on it, quest counters specifically, you may flicker a creature you control. So it will enter, Airbender's Ascension will resolve, and I will try to airbend the Draenei.
Yes, I have no tricks. He goes away.
Then I'll tap my Savannah for 1 green and 1 white. I'll exile my Ancient Tomb for blue. It comes back.
Wait, it comes back untapped too, right?
No, just tapped. It's
okay.
tapped, sorry.
Okay.
And no longer a creature. All of this is correct, but I don't lose any resources really. But then I will do 1 white, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 colorless, and another green, 1 green floating. Cast my commander, Aang.
Attempt to Red Elemental Blast this Aang. I may have counted your mana wrong. I believe you have 7 mana if this gets countered.
If this gets countered, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, yes.
Yep, I think I miscounted. He could just recast Aang after this and then go off anyway.
I will respond to this Pyroblast either way. I'll exile my Arbor Elf for 2 whites, use my green floating to cast a Aven Interrupter. Aven Interrupter is a white counterspell, kinda. It's a flash flyer, 2/2 flyer for 3. It has, when it enters battlefield, target spell becomes plotted. And plotted is that you may cast it on a later turn. And it also has a stacks effect of spells your opponents cast from graveyards or exile, costs 2 more to cast. So Aven Interrupter resolves. It will enter and exile the Red Blast. And then we have a Aang on the stack that I would like to resolve. So Aang ETB, I will look at the top 5. I'll just draw them. This card is in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all of a sudden we see that we were all scared for nothing. I'll put a Esper Sentinel into play. I haven't announced this, but I will get another trigger on my Airbender Ascension here. I will then exile something to Food Chain. The Aven Interrupter can go to exile. I'll make 4 blue. I'll also exile Aang for 6 green. I'll tap starting town for a white, and then recast my Aang, paying commander tax. Cringe. 2 blue, 2 green floating, casting an Aang.
I think this is the best possible time to do this. I'll float 1 and I'll brain freeze you.
That's pretty funny. We have an Esper Sentinel trigger.
I can't wait too long, but I can't also wait long enough because you're not drawing, you're just putting stuff into play. So I'll never surprise kill you. So it needs to be, I think I need to try to mill something that you want. And I think this is 7 copies total, if I count correctly. Well, 6 maybe. Enchantment, Red Blast. Yeah, so that's 6 total.
So yeah, I have no response to Brain Freeze. I'm milling 18 cards. I'm milling Ranger Captain, Rhetoric, Birds, LED, Early Catacombs, a clone that has Embalm. That's funny. It's Embalm cast. Lotus Petal, Mirror Image, Hallowed Fountain, Mox Diamond, Command Tower. That's 11, so 5 more. Mana Confluence, Eldritch Evolution, Eternal Witness is actually annoying to mill, I guess. City of Brass, I think. 1 more, it's a Green Sun Zenith. Ewit was the most annoying one to mill, I think. Then Aang is on the stack again. Aang resolves, and we have the second ETB. Look at top 5. I'll just put this away. Look at top 5. This is so funny. I also get this trigger. I'll put a Noble Hierarch into play. The rest on the bottom. Let's do it again. We'll exile Aang for 6 white. He now costs 9. I have 10. So let's leave a blue floating. Recast Aang. Put this away again. Flip top 5. I will put a Felidar Guardian into play, targeting my Aang. Moving the rest to the bottom.
I'll respond with a Pongify on Aang.
I will respond to your response with a response of my own. No, first of all, Esper Sentinel trigger.
I won't pay. I'll pay with Motherland.
Okay. I'll respond to your response by exiling my Dork and my Esper, making 2 blue, 2 green. Well, it doesn't matter because I'll still be left with 1 blue. I will flash in a Waxen Shape Thief. This is a flash clone. So Waxen's Shape Thief will enter as Aang. This will have, first of all, Legend Rule. I'll have to sacrifice one of them. And I actually will I just realized, have it enter as a Felidar Guardian and flicker. Yeah, I realized it when Mons said it. Mons, shut up, let me just talk. But I have to enter as a Felidar Guardian to flicker Aang again. So my Waxen will resolve as a Felidar Guardian. I'll flicker the Aang. The original Felidar Guardian will fizzle when it comes to that, but hopefully we get a good trigger before. We will flip top 5. We'll continue the trend. I will find a Phyrexian Metamorph, also as a Felidar Guardian, to flicker Aang. Put these on bottom. I will resolve the Aang trigger. Look at top 5. I will choose a Chivari Shapeshifter that is a copy of a ally on the creature on the battlefield. Aang is an ally. So this will actually just be a Aang, sadly, but still. So this one will go to graveyard, but I still have another Aang trigger. I'll resolve that Aang trigger, flip top 5. I will find a Starfield Vocalist. This is actually technically a fizzle, because this is not more triggers. But Starfield Vocalist is a creature for 4. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a trigger ability of a permanent you control, that's weird wording. Basically triggers an additional time on ETB. So here I will have to exile Aang to Food Chain, making 6 green from exiling Aang, exiling the Phyrexian Metamorph copy of Felidar for 5 white, and that is 11 mana. I have 1 blue floating from before, 5 green, that's 6, 5 white, that's 11, casting Aang. This time I have double triggers. So I will track with a counter on my Aang. I have 1 trigger remaining. Look at top 5. I will put a Emil into play. Technically a fizzle, but probably not. Move on to the bottom. I will have 0 floating. 1 more. I would love to take this. Well, I can take this. But I think this one isn't needed, and I do think it's awkward to win if I have to exile, like Starfield Vocalist already, Emil, Felidar, Badge and Roll. They're all awkward. There's a world where I take this. I don't know this deck well enough, but I'll just take a Sakashima the Imposter. That will enter as a Aang, and actually don't die to the Legend Rule. So I get 2 triggers on Aang, use 1 of them, so I have 1 floating. Look at top 5. I will find a Restoration Angel that will flicker twice because of the Starfield vocalist. So I'll flicker the Sakashima first and then the Aang, making 4 triggers, going up to 5, using 1, going down to... Technically, this is how it works. Let's just shortcut because this is taking one. I'll find as a Felder Guardian, flickering Aang. No, it's so annoying! Yeah, I just realized it doesn't work. Let's just have it be an Aang, and I will just have 1 extra trigger. I don't care, and it dies. I'll flip top 5. I'll find a Katara, so now my Aang will trigger 3 times. I'll find a Mist Hologriffin. We now are infinite, but we still have 4 more triggers to resolve. So from here, we have more triggers, but we don't need to do them because we just have Food Chain, Mist Hologriffin. We exile it for 5. We cast it for 4 from exile, infinite mana, and we can then cast Aang infinite times, so we can just put all our creatures into play from our deck. So with the ability to flicker through my whole library, I'll just put in Grand Abolisher and Voice of Victory, so we're protected. Then I will have one of my several clones enter as Felidar Guardian to untap my starting town and my savannah. This gets rid of the wild growth, but that's not a problem. Then I'll get a Spellseeker. Spellseeker finds a crop rotation. I crop rot for Gas Cradle. Gas Cradle makes a lot of mana. I tap it to activate Emil, flickering my Felder Guardian to make infinite green by flickering the Gas Cradle, tapping it for more mana. And with my infinite green, I can flicker the Spellseeker to find a Finale after the station to kill the table. Good game.
They say that Emil is boring. No, Italy is boring, right?
Mm-hmm.
I fell asleep. What happened? Did we die?
Understandable. You died, yes.
Ah, okay.
Sorry to say.
Okay. How did I die?
A bunch of Felidar Guardians infinitely large sitting in the face.
Yeah, that works. Now,
Sure.
So guys, what do you think about his new Aang commander?
Interesting, but insanely. It seems more fragile than it's looked here. I don't know if this was luck or me evaluating it not well enough, but it seems fragile to an extent at least.
I think I'm going to agree. Like a big portion why this worked really well for you, Pontus, was the food chain. Like
yeah. Without food chain, this just fizzles hard.
Yeah, I think that
it's like Traxa better, I guess, compared to.
Yeah. What they do, they are different, so to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
But this deck is like really well positioned into stacks, I think. Like Draenith is kind of the only stacks piece that hits it. I guess like anti-ETB, but whoever plays that.
It also plays really well around Rhystic Study.
Yeah,
because you don't until you get to the whole Mist Hollow, of course, but then it doesn't really matter. But until then, you don't really cast anything.
Yeah,
not that
Mist
much.
Hollow isn't the line you need to take. There's a line where whenever a creature flying leaves the battlefield, or dies rather, you get to get back a creature from your graveyard, and if you just have a clone, becomes Aang, it dies as Aang, you can get back another clone, because Aang is flying. You just loop clones infinitely, without casting spells. So there are lines that plays around Rhystic as well.
I just realized something. I think Etali would love to play versus your deck. Them all,
with
all the clones. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, this instantly loses to Etali, most likely.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I have a Swan Song in my hand, by the way.
Oh, that should have been done used to the food chain.
Yeah, but I bowmastered on Rhetoric.
Yeah, I just remember because the food chain came into play and then we passed turn. That's true. So you were tapped out. So yeah. Then it didn't.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, and Rhetoric knows my hand. So I was like, fuck. I had the Swan Song, but I cast the Bowmaster on your turn. And we had the conversation about the Brain Freeze as well. Maybe having to be saved for later. In hindsight, perhaps it would have helped, but I still stand by my timing.
Yeah, I would have done the same, I think. In any case, thanks for watching and take care. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.